All right, folks. Good morning. Rick here. How's everybody doing? I haven't muted you yet, so we can hear you. How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Yay.
All right. Yay. Fantastic.
I love it.
Fantastical. Fantastical. All right. And, okay, hold on one second here. All right. I just muted everybody. Okay, so Damien, if you could hit *6 on your phone, then we'll be able to hear you. And just let me know when you've done that, please.
I'm here.
There she is. Oh, and you sound nice and clear and everything. All
Fabulous.
right, folks.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the call. So let me introduce you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, from the lovely state of California, we have Damien McVey. She is a real estate extraordinaire. Also, Amanda, you'll love this. She's also a yoga instructor. Okay. So, Damien, why don't we do this? Let's start off by telling them a little about yourself, how long you've been in the business, maybe your production level and goal for this year, too, please.
Okay. Sad, scary number. This September, I will have been in the business for 30 years. 30. Woo! Crazy. Production numbers, I actually, for most of my real estate world, I was not actually an agent. I was on the other side in REO. And so I've only been in the real estate world selling properties for about 5 years. Last year, I was number one agent in the office with $7 million in sales. My goal this year is to double that. So, so far it looks like I'm on track, doing good. And that's where I've been and that.
All right, cool. So $7 million, in about how many closings is that to do $7 million in your office?
18.
18. All right, good. So you want to go into the 30s this year. Good for you. Love it.
I do.
Okay, good. And tell them what office you're in.
I'm in Lake Elsinore, Berkshire Hathaway, of course.
Yes. Okay, part of the new Tarble acquisition,
yes.
Which is great.
It is
All
great.
Right.
It's been phenomenal.
Yeah. It's been phenomenal. Tell us about that. What do you like most about all the new tools and all the goodies you have?
Well, honestly, above and beyond, first and foremost, the training is fantastic. Thanks, Rick. It's nice to have the one-on-one. I appreciate that very much. But the technology is just unbelievable. The AdWorks that we have, everything in the VAC, it's marketing beyond anything I've had before. So it makes everything super, super easy. I love it.
Yeah, and you've been doing a lot of new stuff too. So
I have.
Let's just cover this for a second. I love the fact that your goal is to double your business.
It is.
You've been very active in my coaching. You've also been very active in doing new things. So obviously 18 transactions, $7 million is killer. I mean, you were number one individual agent in your office. So what makes you think that you can double your business? I definitely want them to hear that.
Oh, I have no doubt I can double my business.
I know too. And I think that's part of it right there, that attitude. I love it.
Yeah. No, and the year that I did, that I was number one out there, I took 6 months off for medical reasons. So, that was me working part-time. It's really just a question of being focused. And my goal is to, get up every morning and make my business a priority. And that's what I do. And so as long as I put the time in, I have absolutely no doubt that it's going to come back and it'll work. I have no doubt about it. You just got to do the work.
Right.
Yeah.
Just got to do the work.
Got to do the work.
Obviously, you got to have the attitude like you have, which is confident, competent, and natural, I would call it. And then you also got to do the work. So tell them. Okay, so for you to go from 18 to what is 18 times 2? Is that 36? Yeah, that's 36.
It is.
It is 36. I'm not a math major, but I can figure that out. And so tell them, okay, give us a typical working day for you. Includes, like one of the things that you've done recently is be very uncomfortable doing videos, and now you do a lot of them, which is great. So take them through.
And I hate it. I hate it.
It's not obvious that you hate them when you do them, by the way. They look great.
Oh, I do. I learned something from you about the videos. I don't look at them. Mm-hmm. If I looked at them, I'd never post them. So I just record them. So a typical day for me, I'll wake up in the morning, obviously do a little bit of exercise, get some breakfast, and then sit down. Generally the night before, I plan out what I'm going to do for the day. Like I don't like cold calling. I'm not very good at it at all. I'm much better face-to-face. So I'll go and print out properties that I'm going to look at the next day. I'll preview properties that are coming close to being expired. I will go and look at for sale by owners, that sort of stuff. And so I do a lot of videos of my day-to-day. Hey, I'm out doing this. Hey, I'm out doing that, and post those. So, I've got my properties. I'll go do usually an hour or two of door knocking, generally make a couple of phone calls. I have a little system that I follow up, a little box of calls that I have to follow up with people that are people in the past and the rest of that. And then I obviously go do yoga at least once a day. And, I do, and that usually about once a week, I take a few different outfits, you'll laugh, and I just make a bunch of little videos, and then I just kind of send them out from time to time, and then obviously I try to do some social media of some sort.
Cool. And I know that you do a lot of open houses too, and you do a lot of videos around the open houses, which I think is great.
I do. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's like if I've got a listing, and even if it's not my listing, but preferred if it is my listing, I will knock on 100 of the neighbors' doors and invite them. I've got this cool little thing I do, at least I think so. With the invitation to the open house, I give them all a bag of popcorn, and I hope that they pop by. I think it's kind of cute. And ever since I've been doing that, my open houses have probably tripled in attendance. And they're like, I just wanted to see the person who wanted us to pop by, and so I do that. I videotape what's going on as far as the open house and the door knocking and what it takes to set up, because a lot of people think you just put a sign in the yard and open the door, and there's a lot more to it. So I do that. And then when a property gets into escrow, I go knock on the doors and say, hey, I had an open house that was crazy, multiple offers on this property. Are you looking to sell? And do that. So I just try to keep a lot of face-to-face with the neighbors. That's one of my big ones. Not only that, I also call all the neighbors and invite them to everything and let them know what's going on with the property in their neighborhood. And it works. They're calling me back.
It definitely works, especially when you go around out knocking the neighborhood and leave them something like the popcorn and say, stop and pop by. It's cute. It's fun. And then, like you said, they want to find out who the person is. Plus, you boost out your videos. You're smart, too, because you tag. I tell agents all the time, tag me, tag your manager, and you do that so you get more exposure by doing that, which I think is really smart. There's a few of you that tag me, and you're one of them, but I don't know why more people don't take advantage of that. And you just mentioned a whole slew of company tools and products and things that you use now that you've just assimilated into your business. I have to say, too, Sherry Parkin in my coaching just mentioned that she's using an auto dialer now, too. I just love it when people, especially Sherry, she's been a very productive top agent for a long time, especially when people start implementing new things. Like for you, like you just mentioned, cold calling is not your thing, although, I don't call it cold calling, but prospecting by the phone is not your thing, but you like to do it face-to-face, and you also have other aspects like, I'm not sure everybody knows, I said you were a yoga teacher, but you actually own your own studio and you have your own group of people that you also probably do a little business with too, right?
I'd say we were actually talking about this last night. About a third of the business comes from the people I know. A third of it comes from referrals or past clients, and a third of it comes from door knocking, cold calling, or social media. Yeah.
Nice. That's good. That's a really good mix. It
is.
So
it is.
And I see your videos about yoga too.
Yeah. I don't want it to be all business because I'm not all business. There's more to it.
Right. And when you're not all business, you actually do more business by showing them you have a personal life. And that's a good thing. Your videos also, you have a lot of personality in your videos, which I think is good. And people can see that. When you're enthusiastic and energetic about your job and life in general, it comes across and people definitely want to work with you. Okay? So, all right. Okay. So anything else about your business and the way you do it that you think they should know?
The only thing, honestly, I think it's really important is just let everyone know what you do. Don't keep it a secret. You're not the secret agent. It's let people know. And if, they may not need you right now. They may not need you in 6 months. But keep them informed that that's what you do. And when the time comes that they or somebody they know wants to, you're going to be the first person that they think of. But you have to let them know, and talk to as many people as you possibly can. And, one of the most basic things in the world is wear your name tag. People will ask you questions. They'll stop and be like, oh, you're with, although a lot of people, they're starting to figure out who Berkshire is, because a lot of people are like, I don't know who that is. And I'm like, oh, you should. So it's kind of newer out here in this area. But yeah, I would just say let everybody know, talk to as many people as you can and be present. Own it. It's a great job. And when it comes time, people will need you, and, do it honestly, do it ethically, be yourself for sure. I'm generally walking around in jeans and tennis shoes or flip-flops, and I'm not the pantyhose heels girl. I'm just not. So, just be comfortable, be yourself, and let people know who you are and what you do.
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea. And, think about the opportunity that you just said, too, because, I remember when I first started with Berkshire Hathaway, and a lot of people didn't know Berkshire Hathaway is real estate, and they were like, wow. So think about the opportunity you have. I always say, especially in Arizona, we have X amount of market share, but we have the best name brand on the planet. It's a tremendous opportunity market for the prospecting agent. Same with you, where you are, Berkshire Hathaway being Tarbell. And I remember when I started coaching 25 years ago, and I was telling some of you this when I did my first Tarbell tour, I called it, through California, talking to all the new Tarbell agents. And I remember some of my first clients, a couple of my first clients when I was coaching for Mike Ferry were Tarbell agents. So I'm very familiar. That's an incredible name in real estate, that the owner there that, started it as what an incredible business and so forth. Now you take that name and add it to the Berkshire Hathaway name, which even gives you more international, definitely all over the country exposure with the tools and so forth. It's a tremendous opportunity just from that switch over alone, to increase your business, right?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing also that I did when we merged with Berkshire, I thought, this is a really great opportunity for me to call all of my past clients and say, hey, just wanted to let you know I'm with a new company. Here's my new information. And just from reaching out to all my past clients with something, concrete to talk about, I got three new deals.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome.
And so just taking that opportunity, because with the BAC, I'm like, okay, I need your birthdays because I want to send you birthday notices and all the rest of it. And it's just great, those little tiny things. They get the happy birthdays and, the holiday stuff. It's great.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny you say that. You just do it matter-of-factly. And a lot of agents consider prospecting like not normal or against human nature. And I always go, it's a most natural, wonderful thing. But if you act like you're doing something wrong, people are very helpful. They will treat you like you're doing something wrong. So you just got to be, people go, well, what do you say? I go, sometimes I just call them and say, hey, it's Rick with Berkshire Hathaway. I don't know if you know this, but I am still in the real estate business. Who do you know that? You don't always have to have, it's great when you have an open house or, whatever, but there's so many reasons you can call people, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And honestly, I like most of the people I work with, the vast majority of the time. It's nice to just say hi and see what's going on. Catch up.
There you go. I love it.
Be present. Yeah.
Be present. Carpe diem, baby.
Woo! Carpe diem. Woo!
All right. Seize the day. If anybody didn't know what that means. So that's right up there with namaste, right?
That's right.
All right. So you are obviously a seasoned agent, gone from relo into selling on your own now, running your business as well, your other business as well, and doing business from that business. So let's say that you were a brand new agent or an agent like yourself, wanted to go from one level to the other. What would be the top three things? And elaborate a lot on these too. What would be the top three things that you would tell them to focus on?
Okay. First, as a brand new agent, I've already said it. You've got to let everybody know that's what you do. You have to, because this business, a lot of it comes from referrals. And if you've never done any business, you have no referrals. So you have to reach out to your sphere. And, what I did a lot, is I volunteered a ton in my community. I teach yoga at the park. I teach yoga for the city. I teach yoga at the lake. I do toy drives. I volunteer with seniors in the community to help them with whatever, what do you need? I was door knocking and ran into an older couple that's like, we just moved in. They just bought the house. They're not going to buy a house from me, but they just moved in and they're both very ill and they have they can't hang their curtains. They can't, do some landscaping. So my husband and I went over to their house and hung their curtains and did their landscaping for them. Well, they're the ones telling their neighbors, oh my gosh, these are the best people on the planet. But you have to get out there and let everybody know that you're an agent. Just get involved. Get involved with anything you can. If there's, events going on in your community, try to participate. Let people know, who you are, what you do. So I would definitely say, get it out there. Tell everybody you know what you do. And probably the second most important thing I would say is be organized and follow up, because it's really easy to go to an open house. And by the way, I totally stole your idea. Ever since you said to put a sign on the door that says owner requires that everyone who enters sign in, every single person who's walked through my open house has registered, which is great. Nice. Yeah. The problem is, and I'm guilty of this too, a long time ago, I'd have open houses. I'd have, 10 people sign in, give me their information. I'd be like, okay, great. And then I'd never follow up, and so you have to follow up. If people are giving you their information, what I do is if they give me their address, I send them a thank you card. Thank you for coming to my open house. If they give me their number, I call them. If they I take their emails, I put them into the system so they get my monthly newsletters. I follow up all the time, but you have to follow up. Otherwise, people forget. They forget who you were. They forget where you met. And so you have to be, constantly reminding them that, oh, hey, you remember me? We met at this place. Is there anything I can do to help you? So I would say definitely that's a huge one, follow up, because that's where a lot of things get lost in the cracks. And the third one, it seems really, really obvious. I would honestly say just do a really good job. Do what you say you're going to do. Be honest and ethical, and put your client before yourself. And sometimes it's tough. Situations come up that you're like, oh my God, I might lose my commission. Lose the commission if it's in their best interest. It will come back to you tenfold. I have absolutely no doubt about that. But do your job honestly. Do it ethically. Be where you're supposed to be. Be on time. It's basic stuff that you'd be surprised. My number one complaint in this industry is other agents. Lack of communication, lack of return phone calls. Be professional, return phone calls and do what you say you're going to do. I think it's really important. And eventually, it'll make your clients, respect you, and it'll make them use you again and refer to you to their friends. And that's really where it all comes down to, is your reputation. And you don't get a good reputation by slacking off. So, be professional.
Good for you. Good for you. I love those three. And I just want to say, I want to run through them real quick. Let everybody know what you do. And I would say you do some volunteering, and you used your strength. You're very good at yoga. You know yoga, so you donate your time doing that, and you do business from doing that. By the way, I love when you were helping those older people there with their curtains, and you took it as a great opportunity to do a social media post, which I saw, which I thought was incredibly good. I'm sure you got all kinds of comments on that, right?
Well, I did. Not only that, I also got other people to volunteer to help me with the program in the community.
That was a couple months ago, wasn't it? Or about a month ago?
Yeah, but I've got people that are helping people cook. I've got people that are helping them, with projects around the house. Some people that are running errands. It's just great. It's just a little volunteer for our neighbors.
And it's falls into the golden rule. When you can mix that, doing the right thing, and getting business from it, which you can almost do every time if you really think about it. That's such a great way to do it.
Absolutely. And especially with them, they're not going to use me. They just bought a house 2 months ago, but that's not the point.
That's right. And they will tell everybody. And when you do the right thing, it's a karmic thing that happens. It's like prospecting. I call it prospecting karma. When you prospect, the right things happens to you too. So while we're on this first point for a second, tell them a little about your, evolution into social media, because you were fighting it a little at first. Would you agree?
I think I'm still fighting it. Yes. Here's the deal. I'm trusting the process. That's what I'm doing. I think I'm a normal human being. I don't like to see myself on video. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. And I think that's normal, and I think after a while, perhaps you get used to it. I'm not there yet. And so, but I'm trusting the process. That's the bottom line. Good. I'm told by my new company and by Rick Barabee that you need to do this, and this is going to help you grow your business. And I'm like, okay, as much as it's like, eating your medicine. As much as I don't want to do it, I'm doing it. And so what I'm trying to do is at least a video a week, sometimes 2 on whatever is going on. I'm trying to keep a good mix of interesting real estate information, commercial sort of things that are done on Facebook, combined with some personal stuff, whether it be yoga or, hey, I'm out to dinner here, and trying to do that. And part of it, too, is like my business partner is always like, oh, my God, you see so-and-so on Facebook. She's like so into herself. And, at first I was really afraid that that's what everybody would think. They're like, oh, my God, she's so into herself. But you know what? I can't really worry about what other people think about me, and I have to really focus on the business. And if Rick Barabee from Berkshire Hathaway says this works, then I'm going to have to trust that it does. And so it's like I was at the studio a couple of days ago, and somebody who I hadn't seen in 5 years walks in, and she's like, oh, it's so great to see you. And by the way, I love your videos. And when I'm selling my house at the end of this year, I'm using you for sure. I'm like, I didn't even know she knew I was LinkedIn. Yeah. And so it's like, it's just.
And let me tell you something.
You have to just
your videos, you can tell that you're not, like some people do very vain, look at me, I'm incredible videos. Yours aren't like that. So that's good. So you're always, what people are thinking when they see yours is, oh my God, that's so hard to do. Wow, good for her. That's what they're thinking. I'm telling you. That's why they're saying to you, by the way, when I sell my house, people respect. Look, it takes guts to do a video today. It really does. People think it's real easy for me. It's not. I don't look like I just did Success Series last week, and when I tell the crowd, my group of agents there, 47 times in 5 days to join my YouTube channel, right? I always say to them, okay, pull out your phones. As soon as somebody joins and starts one of my videos, I can hear it from across the room, and it goes, ooh. Your own voice will always do that to you, okay? Yeah. Especially your own face talking with audio and video, but it takes a lot of guts to do it, so congratulations.
Well, one thing you said to me that kind of keeps me motivated in it, you told me one day, I was telling you how much I hate doing the videos, and you're like, I did a video yesterday with a sty in my eye. And I was like, okay, I can do a video. And, part of it, too, is I've got a bunch of girlfriends that have businesses that are trying to grow their businesses as well, and one's a travel agent, and dear friend of mine. And I'm like, oh, let me help you with videos. And she's like, I can't. And so I'm trying to motivate them to do it. And I actually was her videographer, and I got her to do one. And she got 2 new clients out of it. And so I'm trying, it's not just for me, but it's to help them out too. But I think it works. It's just you have to bite the bullet and just kind of do it and don't look at it. Just don't look at it.
Exactly. And I could give you example after example. Avi Dangor in Vegas. Billy O'Keefe is now going on a campaign. I guarantee you he's already seeing results. Especially when you're professional and good and people can sense, okay, what your true motives are, that's when they really want to use you. So that's good. Now, just to jump on number 2 for a second here, you organize. It sounds to me like you're using the VAC for your clients, and you're also using the newsletters. Is that true?
I am, and I think they're great.
Good. Yeah, I can't, I just can't stress enough how every agent that we have should be using that stuff. It's free. People go, well, I send mail. You know what? If you send email, first off, it's free. Secondly, the open rate is higher with a high-quality email than it is with stuff in the mailbox that they don't ask for, that they call junk mail. So I'd recommend that everybody use that. And then I love your last one. Do a really great job. Go over and above. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. It's kind of like the golden rule. Treat your clients like you'd want to be treated. It's so simple, and it's so basic, and you shouldn't even have to say it. But honestly, with 30 years in this business, you have to say it. Some people don't. I've gotten so many clients. I just had a client sell his house with us last year who was the buyer on a listing that we had. But once he got into escrow, his agent vanished, and we ended up helping him. And then we ended up becoming friends. He ended up joining the studio. And then when he got relocated to North Carolina, he used us to list his house as opposed to his agent. And his agent called him and goes, I see your house is for sale. What's going on? He goes, I never heard from you again. You vanished.
Right.
Well, he heard from us. And so it's like, you just treat people well, do a good job. It seems so obvious, but it's really easy, especially once a deal closes, to vanish. And that's a terrible, terrible mistake. Keep in touch with these people. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, NAR says that 78% of agents never talk to their client after the closing, which is
crazy.
To me, it's a crazy thing.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And then secondly, when you do that and you call them and you stay in touch with them and they can sense your motives, they're going to refer you. You can't get referrals unless you do an incredible job. And I personally believe the reason that's almost 80% is because the agent knows they didn't do an incredible job during the transactions, so they would feel guilty calling them after.
Yeah, that's too bad.
That's what I believe that.
It's not.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's not hard just to do a good job. Just do what you say you're going to do, and do it well. Return your phone calls, do your work. It's not complicated.
It's actually easier, especially from a mental standpoint, to do a great job and not carry around that guilt and remorse and so forth that you have. You know what I mean? It's actually
for
easier.
sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Damien. Woo! This was incredibly awesome. Yeah, you did a fabulous job. Okay, I tell everybody. She actually asked me when I asked her to do the call, why do you want me to do this? And I said, I think everybody will see why, and I think everybody just saw why. You're awesome, incredible job. You're going to have an incredible year this year. Pleasure working with you. You have a wonderful, day, everybody, and we'll pick this up again in a week. Damien, thanks again. Appreciate it.
All right, Rick, thanks so much, and good luck to everybody. Get out there.
Thank you.
Bye.
Same to you. Thank you.